So last year we attended the very first Camp RZR East at Brimstone, and it was hands down one of the most impressive side-by-side events I have ever seen. We knew that after the success of last year's Camp RZR, this year's could only get bigger. And sure enough, we showed up at Brimstone this year in Huntsville, Tennessee, and there were significantly more people in attendance, and the enthusiasm level was through the roof.
You know, Camp RZR really is a celebration of off-roaders and their lifestyle, right? It's an opportunity to bring a community together, bring their machines, bring their friends, bring their families, and get together in a beautiful destination area, ride, get out, enjoy the scenery, and then get together later at night and have a concert or other events to socialize and really enjoy the sport and lifestyle of off-roading.
The word had obviously spread. There were people from all over the place in Huntsville, Tennessee. We even met a group of people from New Zealand who traveled the whole way from New Zealand to the small town of Huntsville, Tennessee, just to show up and attend Camp RZR.
You know, a RZR owner coming to Camp RZR is a number of things that they can experience. First of all, the beautiful trails, the scenery, the camaraderie, right? They bring their cars, they see other cars, all the accessories that different people put on them. We have some of our vendors like Fox and Walker Evans. We have dealers here on site.
It's really neat to see and talk to people directly from the vendors that are creating parts and providing parts for the vehicles that we ride every day. You can get answers to your questions, you can get tips on setups, you can get spare parts in some cases, and really go home with a better understanding of the vehicle you're driving and the components that make it what it is. Part of riding your side-by-side is doing repairs. It's just the nature of what we do. And Polaris knows that. And Polaris knows that if they're going to promote people being out on the trails, and they're going to design and promote events that get you out on the trails at Brimstone, then people are maybe going to have a couple problems. So they had a full service repair bay there that was free of charge. If you broke your side-by-side in any way, you can buy the parts from them, and their mechanics, Polaris trained mechanics, would fix your side-by-side on site and get you back out on the trail. Anything from small type finicky stuff to major repairs were being done there the entire weekend.
We have over 64 people from all different departments of Polaris here to really experience what our customers are experiencing and hear directly from them. And this is really what the RZR brand is all about. The lifestyle of off-roading and bringing people together in their element on the trails and using these awesome vehicles to really experience life and have a lot of fun.
One of the big differences between this year's Camp RZR versus last year is that there was less of a focus on competitive type events at the event grounds like drag racing and mud bogs. They'd switched the focus to riding events like scavenger hunts and things like that, where you actually got to ride your RZR around the trails at Brimstone and gather entries into draws for incredible prizes. So one of the main events was Hunting for Sasquatch, and it was sponsored by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. And basically they had 3 cardboard cutouts of the Jack Link Sasquatch placed out on the trails. And you registered with your cell phone, and they would send random text updates and clues as to where Jack Link's Sasquatch was going to be hiding. And you went out on the trail and you followed the clues and you found the Sasquatch. And this was a fantastic event. Clearly people absolutely loved it. I've never seen more people on the trails at Brimstone. I've never seen more people on trails anywhere for that matter. And everybody was excited. They were positive. They loved getting their picture taken with Sasquatch. They knew they were getting their entries put into the draw for all the great stuff. And there was an additional prize for this event alone, which was a year's supply of Jack Link's Beef Jerky. And if I know ATVers, I know ATVers eat some jerky, so that was a very valid prize. This year, since the theme of Camp RZR seemed to be giving away free stuff, they came up with new ways to give away free stuff. And their biggest sort of giveaway event was called Prize-a-Palooza. All of your entries from over the weekend got you more chances to win items, and basically it was a random draw of names from the entry list, and you could win prizes anywhere from $200 to thousands of dollars. We saw people win thousands and thousands of dollars of prizes. We saw people win audio stuff. We saw them win, well, the people from New Zealand won a full set of tires for their side-by-sides. How they're gonna get those home, I don't know. And people were so pumped. The tradition at Camp RZR in the evenings is to put on a wicked concert. And this year was no different. They had a full-bore country music concert with country music superstar John Party. But they couldn't just have a concert, because, you know, that wouldn't be awesome enough. They had to blow everybody's mind just one more time by giving away 2 brand new 2016 RZR models. It was a pretty awesome thing to see. And then, of course, bam, giveaway RZRs, country music concert. Everybody's happy.
Too much money for a good time, rather call some.
Day 2 at Camp RZR was very similar to day 1 in that the whole purpose of the event was to get people out riding their RZRs. So they started it off by having people ride up to RZR Ridge, which is an awesome overlook at Brimstone, and they served a free pancake breakfast to everybody who showed up. So you had hundreds and hundreds of people with their RZRs having some pancake breakfast, hanging out, chatting. It was a really cool way to wake up in the morning and kind of start off day 2 of Camp RZR with a bang.
You see here this morning, we're having a pancake breakfast up on RZR Ridge here in Brimstone. It's just a beautiful morning. People out riding RZRs, eating breakfast and socializing. And that's really a lot about what off-roading is all about and what Camp RZR is about. There are thousands of people here. We have thousands of RZR registrants that are here to all get together in one spot at one time from all over the country, Canada, and people even from outside North America. They come here to experience Camp RZR, the riding, the camaraderie, and everything about UTVing and off-roading that RZR can provide.
After breakfast, they opened up what they were calling the Fox Shocks Run and Gun. Basically what it was a trail in the woods where you drove your RZR, and then you stopped at a location and got a paintball gun and shot at 5 targets, and then got back in your RZR and drove to another location and got out and used another paintball gun to shoot 5 targets. And for every target you hit, you got entered into a draw for a brand new set of Fox Shocks, but also every one of those entries went into the larger draw pot for all the other prizes that you could win. And it was a great event. Everybody was having so much fun. I mean, you take a bunch of people from Tennessee and hand them any kind of gun and everybody's gonna have a good time. After the run and gun, there was no time to be wasted because the very next thing that was going on was a acoustic concert with the country music band Old Dominion. And that again happened on RZR Ridge with this really trick handmade wood carved stage that they built up there. And it was pretty neat. There was a lot of people showed up for that one. They'd all been riding for the morning anyway, and they knew the concert was happening. So people were rolling in constantly, filling this field up on the hill. Old Dominion showed up and put on an acoustic set, and everybody sat around and had a great time listening to that. And it was a really cool way to kick off the afternoon. All during Camp RZR, maybe one of the most important things they do there, certainly one of the most popular, is the ride experience, which is basically test rides, being able to take out some of the newest vehicles for demo rides. The 2 sort of most popular vehicles they had on hand this year were, of course, the 1000 Turbo and the Ace 900, and they had both of those at the ride experience for people to try. They must have put a million miles on those demo units because people were just funneling in and out of there constantly. It was an endless stream of test rides.
The future of Camp RZR is going to be exciting, right? We started Camp RZRs 4 years ago out in California. It's our 2nd year here in Brimstone, and we've also done Camp RZRs in Dubai, and I'd expect that we'll continue to expand into other markets in North America and in places like Mexico. And as I've said, this is intended to be an over-the-top experience for off-roaders to get together on a grand scale with thousands of riders coming together. And we expect to continue on that and continue to make them bigger and better because the riders really have responded.
This year at Camp RZR, the first night's concert had as many people at it as last year's second night major blowout bash. So we couldn't even imagine what the second night of this year's Camp RZR was going to be like if it was going to be bigger than last year's second night. And a Jake Owen concert is a pretty good way to attract a ton of people. And I'm telling you, I haven't seen that many people piled into one field ever, but they were there for something else as well. See, Polaris gave away 2 2016 RZRs the previous night. Well, that wouldn't have been enough, of course, so they had to give away 2 more 2016 RZRs, another turbo and another 1000S. The winners were wicked amped, and actually, so were their families, and rightfully so. I mean, you win a new turbo, that's a pretty darn good prize for people who are the nuttiest, most dedicated RZR enthusiasts to begin with. And of course, again, that gets the crowd pumped, that gets everybody amped up already, and then you throw Jake Owen into the mix and have a full-on concert with the lights and the whole bit, and everybody was just having the best time. So big thanks to Polaris for taking the initiative to put on an event like this, an all-encompassing event, an opportunity to get together, share an experience like this with like-minded individuals who love side-by-sides and ATVs just as much as you do. This is the only way you're ever going to get to experience something like this, so make sure you get out to next year's Camp RZR East so you can be a part of it too.
What we want people to know is that Camp RZR isn't just about RZR or Polaris. We believe once you come to experience everything Camp RZR has to offer, become more involved in the Camp RZR experience, that you as a consumer are going to want to be more involved in the RZR brand.
If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe to Dirt Tracks TV's YouTube channel so you never miss another update.